Hi there folks, welcome to RRTV. My name's Bernie Weemers and we're coming to you live tonight from Daytona International Speedway, and we're covering round one of the Australian Sportscar ProAm for 2016. So I'd like to welcome my co-host Adrian Jarvis. How are you going tonight, Adrian?
Yeah, good, thanks Bernie. Welcome viewers. Yeah, should be a good night for racing.
Yeah, it certainly will be, and just for the viewers out there, we have... just turn down the sound so I can hear myself. We have three classes out there tonight. The Class A is DP Open with the Corvette C7 DP. Class B is a GT1 Open class with the Corvette C6 and the Aston Martin GT1. And then Class C is a GT3 class mixed up with Pro and Am. So basically, Pro drivers are anyone with an I rating over 2,500, and amateur drivers are any cars or drivers with an I rating under 2,500. I think I got that right, Adrian?
Sounded pretty close to me, Bernie.
Yeah, so basically we're in for a 1 hour race tonight. It's a timed race, no driver changes. All the cars will have 75% fuel limit on them, which means they're going to have to make one pit stop, and one pit stop is mandatory. So it'll be interesting to see how the pit strategy plays out tonight. The other interesting thing, Adrian, is in the open classes, GT1 and DP, the drivers have to be within 107% of the fastest car in their class, and they also have to be ahead of all the cars in their lower classes in order for them to make the grid tonight. So that's going to be interesting to see how that rule plays out.
Yeah, certainly will, Bernie. So I think it's a good initiative there, just to try and get the guys up in their classes. I mean, other than probably a penalty, a pit lane penalty, the guys are going to be starting back there. I believe we've already got one of those. So we're going to have a few guys there that are going to be behind, but it's only going to come down to the fact that they've got a penalty already. But should be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and it's a good rule to put in place, because it just makes sure all the guys in the higher classes are in control of their cars and they're capable of speeds that they're not going to sort of get in the way of the lower classes or anything like that. But it'll be interesting. That's a new rule, so we'll see how that shapes out. Having a look at the track at the moment, folks, we're at Daytona International Speedway. There's a total of 11 turns, total length 6 kilometres an hour. The sky out there tonight is mostly cloudy, wind speed's only 8 kilometres per hour, but the track temp 19 degrees, so we've got a nice cool track tonight. So that should, once they get the tyre temps up, that should help with their tyre wear tonight.
Yeah, certainly will, Bernie, and look, I can almost guarantee the guys probably won't change tyres either. They'll want to keep those nice warm tyres on there, because I guarantee you those DPs, put those cold tyres on, man, they're a slick little beast on cold tyres.
Yeah, they certainly are. I drove it before the tyre warmer rule came in place, and it was around Daytona on a cold track. It was virtually impossible to do one lap. I haven't done one since, so I don't know how it's going with warm tyres, but if we get any people up here, we'll definitely ask them that.
Yeah, for sure. I remember that too, Benny, getting out there. Geez, that DP is such a mean thing on cold tyres and on a cold track as well. It definitely doesn't help, and it took at least a whole lap around Daytona to get those tyres warmed up. So at least with those tyre warmers, at least they've got a better chance than what they did beforehand, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And at the moment, folks, they're out there in final qualifying. So let's go through the full result so far so you can see where your favourite driver sits. So at the moment, Josh Burden in the number 4 is leading the way with a 1:37.285. Marcelo Rivera is in second for Class A, followed by Zachary Hanlon in third. Simon Feigl fourth. Keep an eye on Simon. He was racing in the Australian GT3 Championship and he did manage to come through the field quite well, so he could be a dark horse in Class A. Shane Reynolds in 7th, Ben Darley Jr. 8th. 9th, Aaron Farmer. In 10th is David Jellings. 11th, Neil de Bruyn. Matt Zimmerman in 12th for Class A, then TJ Brown and Chris Johnston in 14th for Class A. Looking at Class B at the moment, we have Michael Hammond leading that class, followed by Anthony Mazzarella, Dylan Shepard in 3rd. And then we've got Gregory Colgan down there in 18th in Class A, so he may have to try to improve his times there. 19th or 6th in class is Lance Hawes, and then Craig Hopkins. Well, we've got a very small Class C field, it must be said. We have Adam Funslow, followed by Jeffrey Price, Scott Goodman and Alexander Sheridan. So not many GT3s out there tonight, Adrian.
No, there isn't, Bernie, and it's a bit of a shame, but I think if I was out there, Bernie, I think I'd be in that GT3, because if I was in the others, I think I'd be kicked out. So I'd have to run the GT3s in this series, mate.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because last season the GT3s were quite popular, but it looks like with the new DP in Class A, it's getting a lot more love than it did last year.
Yeah, there's something about the Corvette, Bernie. I think even myself, I actually enjoy driving that DP. It does have small assists in it, but nothing great in it. I don't think it's got ABS, so that's something that it doesn't have, but I believe it's got traction control, and that's a way better than the older DP, so it's definitely, you've seen it, it's probably a couple of seconds a lap quicker than the older one, so a nice car to drive, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is nice once the tyres warm up, that's for sure. Now folks, I was just testing our camera, we do have a technical glitch. I can only turn it left, so you'll have to bear with us in this broadcast if when I'm panning I'm doing 360 degrees on the roof cam.
Oh, that's alright, Bernie, you just have to do 90-degree turns at a time and we should be alright.
Yeah, that's right. Or I'll just leave it facing forward and I won't pan the camera at all. But we'll see how we go. But we're just having a look at Ben Darley Jr.'s car out there for XY Gaming, and tell you what, that car is looking magnificent under the lights here at Daytona tonight.
Yeah, these there's something about night driving in it, Bernie. The cars are just popping under the lights, and Daytona is a really good track for lights. There's not too many of them, but yeah, it definitely looks really nice, and the cars are well presented, I think, so far too, Benny. A lot of cars out there have got a different liveries and that, and they're really clean, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are, and we're looking at his teammate Aaron Farmer and the other XY Gaming car, and that looks just as nice. Having a look in Class A, Tim Ballinger's just jumped up into second, and that's pretty good for the TD Racing driver. So he is just behind Josh Burden at the moment. Marcelo Rivera up to third, pushing Zachary Hanlon down to fourth in Class A.
Yeah, some good driving there, and even a new paint job there for Evolution in Australia there as well, Bernie. Nice little paint scheme on that DP. If you have cast your eyes there at Aaron Osborne, he's one of the guys that are actually happening to start from pit lane. You can see his number there, it's 737, so a bit of a number glitch there for Aaron tonight, so he'll be starting from pit lane. Simon Feigl, yeah, brilliant drive there on Sunday, wasn't it, Bernie? So he's definitely one of these guys that we're going to have to watch tonight.
Oh, definitely. He was very strong in his BMW Z4 at Sonoma Raceway, and it'll be interesting to see how his experience translates into the DP tonight, because they're quite a different beast, really, aren't they?
Well, they certainly are, Benny, and I'll tell you what, with the team that he's in, with the experience that's in that team, and talking about Evolution Australia, it's a very deep and a lot of talent in that team. So being in that team and getting information from a lot of guys will actually help transition from one car to the other. But for me, I'm one of these slow learners, so I need to spend more time in the car than most. But he should go well here tonight, Bernie, I think.
Yeah, and Simon's qualified in 6th position in Class A at the moment, so there'll be. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes out there tonight. Also, folks, a few of these teams may be using tonight as a bit of a test session, because we've got the Australian Endurance Championship coming up on Sunday week or Saturday week, and that's a 24-hour endurance race around Daytona. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these drivers in the DPs are actually competing in that class in the Australian Endurance Championship.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. It's definitely interesting, and we've got so many DPs in here, which wouldn't surprise me that they're definitely testing tonight in this series with their DPs, and also coincide with the AEC. So getting a little bit of extra practice in definitely won't hurt these teams to understand the car and get some settings down, and just work with the setup of the cars will be definitely interesting.
Yeah, it certainly will be, and we're just having a look at Class B at the moment. That's still being led by Michael Hammond. He did a 151.980. The closest in class to him is Dylan Shepherd, and let's have a look. Fastest, was a 140.470 for Michael Hammond. Dylan Shepherd, 142.223. So he's over 2 seconds a lap slower than Michael at this stage. In third is Anthony Manzarella with a 149.86. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know how that's working out, but anyway.
Yeah, so the other person here, Bernie, that I can see is in trouble at the moment would be Gregory Coolgan here at the moment. He's suffering here behind Michael Hammond. So if they go off what they're saying there, Bernie, he might be the only guy that's be not racing tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do that, because Michael set a time a lot faster, like 2 seconds quicker than the rest of the field, and Gregory's only behind Michael. He's ahead of everyone else. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. As far as Class C goes, we've got Adam Funslow at the moment leading that class in qualifying, followed by Jeffrey Price. And then, of course, we've got Scott Troy and Alexander back there, because we've only got 5 GT3s, which I must say is quite a disappointing turnout for that class.
Yeah, it certainly is, Benny, and we can see Adam's actually in the McLaren too, so he's obviously doing testing, so it wouldn't surprise me if Adam's actually running the McLaren in the AEC this season. I know he's doing it in the GT3, and it looks like the McLaren's car to have in GT3 class at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's a completely different car than it was last time around. Just finishing qualifying, folks. Tim Ballinger, he couldn't better his time. And so Josh Burden will get pole position in Class A tonight. But saying that, the race will be on in Class A, because if we look at the times, Josh Burden a 1:37.285. Let's bring that up. Tim Ballinger's only 1,000th of a second behind him, and then if we look, Simon Feigl, he's up to third, and he's 0.2 of a second down from Josh Burden. Then we've got Marcelo Rivera in fourth, 0.3 of a second down, then Zachary Hanlon. So the top, let's say looking at the top 10, they're separated by 1.2 seconds, but the race will be on for the top 8.
Yeah, that's right, Bernie. It's quite close again in it. We can have a look there from the top 5 are only what not even half a second, Bernie. So it's only like 300ths of a second between the top 5. So that's quite close times there. So these boys are really quick, aren't they?
Oh, they certainly are. And then looking at Class B, that's a bit more spread out. That's about 5 tenths of a second between first and second. So they're fairly close. So Anthony Mansorella there, he's just behind Dylan Shepherd. So there could be a race for the top 3 in that class. And of course in the GT3s, well, Adam Funslow's 2 seconds quicker than the rest of them at this stage.
Yeah, so Adams, I'm not going to put the mockers on him because I tell you what, that McLaren still can be a little bit shocking at times, Bernie, which we saw at the Australian GT3 Championship on Sunday. So he's still got a car there and it could bite him at any stage, and we know how wicked that can be at times.
Oh, definitely. But Adams, he's mastering that McLaren and he's quite strong in it. So it'll be good to see how he goes. So let's take a look at our grid, folks. So Josh Burton gets pole position with a 1:37.194. He will lead the way, followed by Tim Ballinger. Simon Feigl out of 3rd. Marcelo Rivera 4th. Zachary Hanlon out of 5th. 6th, Ben Darley Jr., followed by Aaron Osborne. Shane Reynolds out of 8th. 9th will be David Jellings. Aaron Farmer will start out of 10th. 11th, TJ Brown. Neil de Bruyn out of 12th. 13th is Matt Zimmerman. Michael Hammond 15th. 16th is Gregory Colgan. Then we have Dylan Shepherd, Anthony Mansorella, Craig Hopkins. 21st, Adam Funslow, Jeffrey Price out of 22nd, 23rd, Scott Goodman, 24th, Troy Maguire, and 25th will be Alexander Sheridan. So I got through that pretty quick. So I'm just getting everything set up for this, folks. We will be doing a rolling start, and I'm pretty sure they start down on the back straight here, don't they? They don't do a full lap under pace car conditions.
Yeah, sorry, Bernie. I was trying to get what they're chatting about. I was on there, but it seemed to be dropping in and out. So my internet connection is a little bit funny tonight. But we'll see how we go. That pit lane penalty that I was talking about earlier is actually gone to an end of line penalty there for Aaron Osborne. So he's actually going to be on track, which isn't as bad as what he would have been if he started in the pit lane. It's usually about a 10 or 12 second penalty if you start from pit lane. But starting at the end of the line should help him out here.
Yeah, we'll see how he goes, and the overlays, folks, will catch up once they get across the start-finish line. For some reason they're a bit out tonight, and like my computer. But anyway, it's going to be a 1 hour time sure race tonight, and as long as this computer of mine holds up, we will be here live all the way. So you can see as we look through the field, they're quite spread out here, and each of the classes will give each other a lot of room. So the pace car should be in any moment, and then our Class A leader will have control. But keep an eye on Tim Ballinger out there, and the 2 Evolution Racing Australia cars, 3rd and 4th. So on the outside, Tim Ballinger, inside Josh Burton. Josh has got control, he's put the foot down. Tim's been caught napping a little bit here, and he's being 4 wide between the car net, TD Racing, and the 2 Evolution Racing Australia cars. But it's looking like they're getting through fairly cleanly.
Yeah, Tim backed out of that one, didn't he? Let them through, but his teammate went through there and it's jumped into second. So the second place starting line position there by Tim. was replaced by his teammate. So what a brilliant start there from those guys.
Yeah, it's definitely an aggressive start there by Zachary Hanlon, who's up to second. Marcelo Rivera, who's struggling a little bit on those cold tyres. He's got Simon Feigl now trying to get through. Poor Tim there, he started second, got caught napping. He's down to fifth with a lot of work to do back there.
Yeah, certainly does, Benny, and it's good to see that we've had a nice clean start for the race. So we've got a long way to go, obviously, with an hour's worth of racing, and we've got, I won't say we'll have damaged cars, because Benny, I'll tell you what, my iRacing is showing me damaged cars that aren't damaged, so we'll leave that at that. But yeah, the boys are definitely on it already.
They certainly are, and looking further down at the moment in GT1, Dylan Shepherd is leading that class, or is he? Hang on. No, sorry, Michael Hammond's so far ahead, I skipped him. Michael Hammond's leading GT1 of Class B, followed by Dylan Shepherd there in second and 13th outright. So already Michael Hammond's mixing it up with the DP Opens up there.
He certainly is, Bernie. Michael's quite a good steerer, isn't he? And he's up into 8th position already, so brilliant start by him. But he should be getting hounded by these DPs at some stage. But if he stays on course here, he's going to do quite well here in his Aston Martin. And the other one that we've got to keep an eye on is Aaron Osborne, because obviously he started at the back of the field and he's up into 12th already. So he's jumped 11 positions from the start of the race, so he's on a mission to try and get up into that top 10 as well.
Yeah, certainly is, and David Jellings is in the pits at the moment in his DP. We did see a car spin. I'm just seeing if that was David. I'm not quite sure, but he is in the pits at the moment, Adrian.
Yeah, I can check that out if you like, Bernie.
Yeah, there was a spinner in turn 1, and I'm pretty sure it was David that spun there. Meanwhile, folks, up front here we have Josh Burton leading the way, followed closely by Zachary Hanlon, Marcelo Rivera third, Simon Feigl fourth, and they've dropped off Tim Ballinger at the moment, who's sitting in 5th position. We are riding on board here with Simon Feigl, currently in 4th position. We will stay with this camera view, folks, so you can enjoy the sounds of the DP around Daytona tonight. So crank up your sound and enjoy a lap around the circuit. So that was quite interesting there as we rode with Simon Feigl. You could hear him lifting there as he holds station behind his teammate Marcelo Rivera. And Marcelo's fighting pretty hard at the moment with Zachary Hanlon, who's holding that 2nd position in Class A. Class B at the moment, we still have Michael Hammond in the lead. He's got quite a big lead over Dylan Shepherd now. trying to work that out. That's 5-second gap at the moment in Class B. Then third and fourth in Class B, we have Anthony Mansorella and Lance Halls for Kimmy Rural Fencing. Class C still being led by Adam Funslow, and he's got a big gap over Jeffrey Price here in second. That gap at the moment, let's bring that up, is 8.8 seconds, and they've only done 3 laps around Daytona.
Yeah, it's quite a big gap, and get back to the other incident, Bernie. It was quite a big bit of a mess there at the start, actually, Bernie, going into turn 4, you may as well say, the little hairpin there where you saw it, it got really messy there, and just got a few incidents there, so unfortunately that sort of paved way for the incidents there in the first lap.
Okay, we're just jumping back to have a look at it. Yeah, you're right, it was very messy between teammates. You could see David there putting the foot down. He's just not going anywhere. It's like he's had some sort of throttle malfunction in that car as they pushed him off the track.
Yeah, it was just really untidy, wasn't it? So unlucky for him. It just really pushed him back, and looks like he got a bit of damage there to his car. So unfortunately, these DPs aren't the best for contact, so they get damaged quite quickly.
Well, they certainly do. It doesn't take much to damage a floor pan in them or bend the steering in these cars. They are very fragile indeed. But at the moment, it's all Josh Burden. He's got a 1.2 second gap. Let's go to live scoring. Just over a second over Marcelo Rivera at the moment. And that's probably because Zachary and Marcelo are fighting it out. Marcelo's just got past Zachary, so it'll be interesting to see how Simon goes.
Yeah, certainly will be. It's a bit of a race there at the moment, which is really good to see.
Yeah, and something's happened with Tim Ballinger here for TD Racing. He was in 5th, he's down in 11th at the moment as he just goes past the number 8 of Neil de Groom there.
Yeah, he may have had a moment there, Bernie. I checked on the events, he's had a couple off track, so a bit of a start there, had an issue there, so had a couple off track, so obviously that's lost him in quite a few positions there.
Certainly has. As we can see this battle for third starting to heat up now. Zachary's defending as Simon comes right in heavy under brakes there, but fortunately doesn't tag the back of Zach's car there.
Yeah, so I'm back to the action now here too, Benny, and geez, I tell you what, I'm not sure if it's iRacing, but geez, those cars have looked got a bit of damage on them, don't they?
They certainly do. Already there's quite a bit of damage on these cars. There's a bit of dust thrown up ahead of Simon there, but all the cars are through cleanly and they're on their way to complete lap 5 around Daytona.
Looking at this, Benny, it looks like these 4 cars here are the guys that are going to be the ones that are going to be at the pointy end at the end of the race. So obviously we're going to have to keep an eye on these 4 cars that throughout the race here.
Oh, definitely, and it's going to be interesting to see how pit strategy plays out here, and if any of the guys are going to go the full hour with tyres. As you said earlier, I'm assuming they will use those tyres for the full 60 minutes. As we can see now, Simon's getting a good slingshot there, and he goes flying past Zachary Hanlon there down the straight. Can Zach come back on him?
You definitely get a lot of tow, don't you, around that section of the NASCAR track there at Daytona. So what Zachary should do here, should sit behind him and then jump on the draft after the bus stop and do the same thing. But we'll see how the car goes. As he's getting a bit sideways there, that's paved way to that, Bernie, and Simon's got a bit of a gap there now, so Zachary's got a lot of work to do now.
He certainly does. He's going to lose the slipstream there, and he's got to watch himself because Shane Reynolds now can see that he's a little bit vulnerable, and no doubt he's going to be trying to pull that gap. And the gap at the moment is, well, that's incorrect. It's a lot less than 3 seconds.
Yeah, it certainly is. And see here, Aaron Osborne is up to 7th, Bernie. So, and his car's looking pretty smicko at the moment, and he's only 2.5 seconds behind Aaron Farmer, which is Aaron's not that far behind Shane. So Aaron's actually making a good move forward here at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly is, and if he can get into that slipstream, he'll be able to make hay and try to close that gap. But I'll tell you what, in 9th at the moment, Michael Hammond for the GT1 class, he is absolutely flying in this Aston Martin tonight.
Yeah, doing a great job, isn't he? Just see him go through the bus stop there, closed in on Neil. We got around him because of just the horsepower and the DP, but you know, getting through that bus stop, that car is hooked up through the corners, so way quicker than Neil at the moment through the bus stop area. So it's no wonder he's been up near the pointy end there at the start, Bernie.
As we can see now, that's Tim Ballinger just going past. If you look at the top end speed of the that Aston Martin and the DPs, there's not that much difference at all in top end speed, really, is there?
No, there's not a lot of speed. Just I think it comes down to how much grip and how quick they, you know, like how quickly they get up to speed. If you watch the Aston, it stays onto the back of this DP, so it just comes down to the way it handles and the braking, I believe, with all the assists that you get as well.
Yeah, and I'd expect the DPs to be stronger through the tight section they're in at the moment. You can just see them pulling away. And I think that's quite the difference, you know, the difference in braking and handling through the corners here. The Aston Martin would have a lot less downforce.
Yeah, certainly will, Bernie, and you should see a little bit of a break from the get-go, and then if Michael stays in the draft, though, he can hang on here, as we can see at the moment. Tim's actually having a look at Neil at the moment to get in before the bus stop, so that's a good move there if he pulls it off, which he should do. He'll have right away here, I think. He gets in, yeah, he does. And, here comes Hammond behind Neil.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Hammond would be thinking at the moment. Do you think he'd be frustrated with these DPs, or do you think he'd have a grin from ear to ear, taking his car and taking it to the Class A boys?
I think it'll be in both, I think, Bernie. I mean, you're in the Aston and you're fighting these DPs, and you know, get frustrated because you're closing in on them, but then they're disappearing on you as well. So, but he'll be having a grin as well, I think, Bernie, because, you know, driving that well in that Aston, you got to be pretty well chuffed with that.
Yeah, and he's, you know, he's got a massive gap at the moment back to second place in Class B as we go through the field, and you'll see what I mean. That gap at the moment, as we pick up Dylan Shepherd now, it's over 8 seconds from Michael back to Dylan. Dylan's lapping the 141s, and Michael's, yeah, Dylan's matching his pace, but he's got 8 seconds to pull in at this stage with 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're in the same up, Bernie, but obviously we know Michael. We've seen him before in this series and other series as well, but yeah, he can drive that Aston quite well, and he does a great job. So nothing to take away from Dylan, obviously, as well. We know he can drive quite well as well, but you know, Michael's just a class on his own most of the time. So yeah, it's going to be hard work here for Dylan to try and catch up.
Yeah, then third in Class B is Anthony Mansorella for Evolution Racing Australia, followed by Lance Hawes for Kimi Rural Fencing in 15th outright, 4th in class at the moment.
I reckon we give a shout out to Lance, Bernie. I think I've seen him jump in nearly every iRacing car that we either race in or broadcast, so he definitely gives it a shot, doesn't he, Bernie?
Oh, he definitely does, and he loves his racing too. And I tell you what, that Aston Martin looks fantastic in that KRF livery at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely a different livery to the other ones, but yeah, looking really smick in it. And I'll tell you what, the Evolution boys, I think they might have to work on their Aston Martin one. I think the DP is a lot smarter than their Aston Martin livery, I think, Bernie.
Yeah, the Aston Martin looks like it's carrying their old livery, where the DPs seem to have a brand new bright livery. But you're right, the DP definitely pops compared to the Aston Martin.
Yeah, I think I'll have to give the DP the paint scheme there for Evolution Racing Australia for their inter-team paints. That's just a nice paint job on there, and they've done a fantastic job with that one. As I was just saw poor old Matthew Zimmerman getting a little bit loose coming out. Oh no, it wasn't Matthew, sorry. That was David Jellings. You just see he got loose in that DP behind Dylan Shepherd then, so that was quite interesting to watch.
Just bring the replay up and see if we can pick that up. We can't promise anything, folks, but we will try.
Just getting loose coming up onto the banks of the Daytona there. It was quite cool to see him get loose and have a little bit of wag there, Bernie, and get it pointed in the right direction again. It's quite cool to see.
Unfortunately, we can't get that replay, but I bet you he would have had his hands full. And it's good to see at the moment also David Jellings is back out there, 23rd, after that not sure what it was, mechanical failure, steering failure, something that occurred on the first lap. But yeah, he's one lap down, but at least he's out there.
Yeah, that's right. And the boys actually coming up to lap traffic here, Bernie, getting around a McLaren now, so a bit of lap traffic on. I'm just trying to check lap 11, so here we go. The boys have got a bit of work to do now.
Yeah, well, once they start lapping, the traffic tends to stay there, doesn't it, for the rest of the race. I'm just having a look. That's Jeffrey Price, the second place in Class C. I think that they're lapped. So how far in? 10 laps in, and they're just starting to lap the cars now.
Yeah, which is pretty good. I mean, last season we had the HBDs, and I think it was only like lap 3, and they were coming up to the GT3. So a few more laps in. There's a smoker there, Bernie. I just can't see where that was in turn 1. So may have been our second place getter in the C class there.
I'm just having a look at the replay to see if we can find what's happened there. I did see the smoke in the background, but unless they go off track, I can't really pull it up.
Okay, Bernie, it was Shane Reynolds. Unfortunately, he was up in the 4th position, so unfortunately he lost it going into turn 1 there and smashed the car into the tyre barrier there. So unfortunate there for Shane Reynolds. Yeah,
and he's just exited that car now, so let's jump back and see if we can pick that up, folks. I saw the smoke in the background, but so we're picked him up now at the back chicane, so we'll keep an eye on what happened when he comes into turn 1 down here. It's quite a tricky part too, isn't it? Because they're coming off a slight bank straight into a flat part of the circuit under heavy braking.
Yeah, there's definitely a line to get into turn 1. You can use other lines, but you've got to be on the brakes a lot earlier than the certain line that you're going into. So yeah, it's very tricky at times getting into turn 1.
Certainly is, and we could see that the change in surface and embankment is what caught him out. He had a slight wiggle, he corrected it, and then he lost the rear end. So straight into the tyres for Shane, and he's been towed back to the pits.
Yeah, Aaron was quite lucky there, Benny, not to get caught up, because that could have cost him a lot more than that. And geez, poor old Zach is actually keep losing positions here as Aaron Osborne gets around him as well. So Aaron's moving forward here in his carnet.com auctions DP there, Bernie. So he's moving forward and doing quite a good job at it. It looked pretty straight. There's hardly any damage on that car, Bernie.
Yeah, he's definitely the mover of the TD Racing team at the moment. There's his teammate in front, and then he's got Aaron. Just trying to think. Aaron Osborne. So Aaron's past Zachary now, and he's chasing down Aaron Farmer.
Yes, that's right, Bernie, and he's having a look there on the outside, going through turn 4, coming onto the main straight at Daytona. Not the preferred line, that's for sure, Bernie.
No, and he's squeezing him. He's better watch it. He could tag the other driver. Sorry about the camera, folks. I can only go one way.
Yes, he conceded that corner, so he's lost out there, and he's got his teammate there as well, going out wide. So this is quite a good battle here at the moment, Bernie.
Yeah, it certainly is, and Zachary's wanting to get back. And I'll tell you what, Aaron's car, with Aaron Osborne, it's a lot straighter than his teammate. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out as they're trying to get past Aaron Farmer, who's sitting in 4th.
Aaron Osborne there just got a little bit loose coming out of that corner then, Bernie, so he lost a little bit of ground, but he pulls up here. I think there's a couple of things here. He can either sit here and try and get the draft up to the bus stop and get a good run out of the bus stop and try and keep it low, which is going to be hard because obviously Aaron Farmer's going to be aware of that, or he can have a nice, if he's close enough, dive here into the bus stop.
He's just holding station. I'll tell you what, that last lap by, we're riding with him as there's a bit of smoke up the front there. We've got a spinner. It's one of the XY Gaming on the inside. We'll get to that in a minute. But I was looking at Aaron there, and he was really putting the squeeze on Aaron Farmer there last lap.
Yeah, it certainly was. Old Aaron Osborne there. I think you get him into any car he could drive. So here he goes again on the outside, so not the place to do unless he out-brakes him, but generally not the good spot. Ooh, it's getting a bit loose.
Yeah, it's definitely, you don't want to be on the outside through turn 1 there. It was a brave move, and he did a good job there holding it on, because holding on to the car, because it definitely was starting to skip. As he gets loose again, that's going to let Zachary through, I think.
Yeah, certainly will. So Aaron's just pushing a little bit too hard there, I think, Bernie. Just trying to get past Aaron, and instead of trying to stay calm and work out where he needs to pass him. I think the best spot for him is actually trying to come out nice and clean out through this turn here, Bernie, and get a good run on him, Aaron Farmer, on before the bus stop, and try and take the line into the bus stop. So if you take the right line in there, you should definitely get through the bus stop a lot better.
Yeah, and it's all about keeping that momentum, isn't it? So you carry that through the bus stop straight onto that front straight there. As we can see now, Aaron's getting the draft on his teammate again, and he goes through very deep. I think Zach lifted a little bit to let his teammate through.
Yeah, I think so, Bernie, and that's the pass he needs to do on Aaron Farmer. I think it's the only chance he's got to probably get that position is pull that move off. I know he was helped there by his teammate, but I think if he can try and do that and surprise Aaron into that move, I think he'll get it done there, because Aaron Farmer's just protecting the inside line through turn 1, and he's not going to get it done on the outside unless he brakes a lot later.
Yeah, and looking up the front, it's heating up between Josh Burton and Marcelo Rivera now. Marcelo is only about 0.08 of a second behind Josh Burton, and they've just put down the lap our Class C leader, Adam Funslow, in the McLaren.
Which is not bad, Bernie. You think we've 16 laps into it, and we've only just finally got past our Class C leader. So good effort there by the guys tonight.
Yeah, and if you look at the lap times, the leader of Class C is doing his fastest laps of 1:44.379 compared to the fastest DP Open class car of a 1:38.555. So they're only 6 seconds a lap slower than the DP Open class.
And that's pretty good too, Benny. And you have a look at Michael Hammond there. He's doing 1:41. So about 3 seconds difference, so that's not too bad, Benny. There's 3 seconds separating each class, so it's a good mix here that Matthew's got going tonight. So I think he's picked the cars quite well for this season.
Certainly has. Josh Burton, our race leader, into the pits on the 27-minute mark, so he's going halfway, and it was quite interesting. He was racing Marcelo. He waited till Marcelo made the move on the outside, then he dived into the pits.
Yeah, so we'll see how this ends out. So he's done the halfway strategy basically, Benny, and we'll see how long. They've only got a 75% fuel load, so they've only got 3/4 of a tank of fuel, so they'll probably make up to about 45 minutes, and we'll see how they go from there.
Yeah, definitely, and he's been through the pits, 15.9 seconds, he's just taken fuel, and as we suspected, no tyres. So now we have first position Marcelo Rivera, Evolution Racing Australia, followed by Simon Feigl, 8.7 seconds down from his teammate. But we'll see now if these guys start to react to Josh. I guess because they're not taking tyres, he's not really going to get an undercut, is he?
No, that's the thing. Like, no one's going to get tyres, and I don't think it's worthwhile in an hour race anyway, Bernie. You're not really using the tyres too much, so and you don't really want to change tyres, especially when they're nice and warm. If you get cold tyres, you're going to suffer on the first lap, so you may lose the advantage even more. So unfortunately, that's the way it is at the moment. So you've really got to try and do it on how much fuel you want to put in and how quickly you can go.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're dead on there. They're going to be really driving to a number and a certain amount of laps before they take that fuel. Because really a 60-minute race in these cars, it's just a sprint race really, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, putting 75% of fuel in, it's cool. I mean, you've definitely got to stop and put fuel in it. As for tyres, well, being this cold, Bernie, I don't think it's worthwhile taking tyres. So it's definitely going to come down on how much fuel you don't want to put in, and if you want to risk it by just getting across the line, that's your choice. So it's going to come down who's the bravest on fuel, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and you can see Aaron Farmer now in the number 13. He's coming out. He matched the pit time to the exact 15.9 seconds in that XY Gaming entry to Josh Burton. So they're pretty much throwing identical fuel numbers in those cars at the moment.
Yeah, and if you're going to put the same amount of fuel in, if you're going to stop for 15.9 seconds, Bernie, you're all going to be stopping at 15.9. You got a fuel number to go to, and that's it. Once you burn, once you get past a certain lap, like these guys could have worked out that they could have gone to lap 10 and come in and put fuel in and gone from there. It's just about traffic now and how you deal with it, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. And the other guy that has pitted in the open class is Tim Ballinger in the number 27, currently running, as he's getting it a bit loose there. And yeah, his stop was a 20.9 second stop.
A little bit too much fuel there, I think, Benny, or may have taken tyres, or it might have been actually getting some repairs done too to the car, or a pit lane penalty, so we're not too sure about that, but definitely quite a few things there, because we know he's had an off track and the cars were a little bit untidy, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right, and that's cost him a lap. He's just gone a lap down to Marcelo Rivera there. So no doubt he'll get that back once they pit.
And the Class B leader is in the pits now, Bernie. He's getting his service done now.
So he's pretty much splitting it and he's throwing tyres on the car. That's interesting.
Yeah, certainly is, Bernie, but given the gap that he's got, maybe decided to throw him on there just to give him that extra bit of bite, I suppose.
You can see another GT1 car behind coming in. I think that is the Evolution Racing Australia entry. But yeah, Michael Hammond out, 20.9 seconds. So maybe Tim threw some tyres on his car.
He could have done, Bernie. I don't know how the DPs work, if they actually put fuel on and tyres at the same time. I know the GT1s do. We know that the GT3s actually do one tyre at a time, so which is like the real world, which is painful, but it is what it is. But we won't know, I suppose.
Yeah, I think the GT1s are the same as the DPs. I think they throw all the tyres on pretty much at the same time while they're filling up. But I'm only guessing.
But like I said, I don't think it's worthwhile taking tyres. I mean, you've got a track temperature of 19, and we know that these cars can run around here on tyres for an hour, and at the worst case scenario, you're going to lose a second in this weather. So is it worthwhile trying to gain that second, because you're not going to gain much over 20 odd 30 odd minutes, are you?
Well, no, you're not really. There with the 1.5 minutes per lap over that half hour, they're only going to do another 15 laps. They're now completing lap 19. Aaron Osborne's also pitted, 16.4 seconds. Zach Hanlon, his teammate, 16.7 seconds. So they're pretty much running to the same number at the moment.
Yeah, which isn't too far away, like a second away from the other two, which isn't too bad. But Tim's is a massive amount in it. So 4 seconds, and you know, you talk 4 seconds. 4 seconds is a lifetime in racing. So not sure. I'm sure I'll find out at some stage. It may not be tonight, but you know, I'll find out what happened with Tim's stop later on. But yeah, that's a bit of a costly error there for Tim tonight.
Yeah, and Marcelo and Simon are in the pits now taking service as we see Josh Burton now coming down the straight. We'll see where he comes out. They're still sitting there. So Josh will come through to retake the lead in Class A.
Yeah, Marcelo, what a long stop. That was like a nearly 20-second stop as well. So maybe they're not sure on the numbers on fuel. Simon as well at 18. So those numbers are quite high there, Bernie. Like 3 seconds. They've lost a lot of time there to Zach Hanlon and Aaron Farmer and Aaron Osborne. Geez, Aaron's lost a lot of time there too, Bernie.
Yeah, Aaron Osborne's now coming out of the pits. I think my numbers are wrong there. It says he's done a 1.9 second stop. I don't know about that, but anyway.
Yeah, might have had a stop and then a go again, Bernie. We know how that's like. It does silly things like that, the telemetry.
Yeah, it definitely does. And we've got a few there like that. Ben Darley's now coming out, 16.9 seconds. Looking further down, Gregory Colgan's now taking service as well. And I guess they're starting to hit the limit. Another one that hasn't pitted yet, we haven't seen much of him, is Craig Hopkins. Now he's coming in the Corvette C6.
Yeah, Craig's he ran last season, so he's back in here again with his. It looks like it's Tiger. I'm not sure. I can't quite read it, but he was consistent runner, wasn't he, Bernie?
Oh, definitely. It's great to see him back again this season. And Adam Funslow, it's good to see him leading Class C at the moment in the ILEC Clipsal entry. The McLaren, he's running 14th outright, yet to pit. but looking good for the McLaren driver.
Yeah, doing great. Definitely, you know, he puts a lot of effort into this racing, and he does quite well. And usually he's out there, and he does so well at what he does. He gets up there, and one of those quiet achievers, I think, Bernie.
Yeah, definitely. And I promised him also on Facebook, folks, that if he has a spin, we have to super slow-mo it.
Yeah, that should be a good chance at driving that McLaren, Bernie, but probably not around here so much, but I'm sure the opportunity will definitely come up for that McLaren for a super slow-mo.
Yeah, you know, the season's a long one, so I'm sure we'll catch it at some point during the year. So Adam hasn't pitted yet. The other person that has not pitted is Jeffrey Price. Jeffrey's running second in Class C, but it's quite a large gap, at least half a lap between those two drivers at the moment.
Yeah, it is such a large gap, and I'll tell you what, I love the flames coming out of that Macca. I'll tell you what, that's pretty sexy stuff there, Benny. Just seeing all that flame coming out, those twin exhausts just underneath the wing there. So quite a good effect there that's coming out of that car.
It certainly is. It'd be interesting to see in real life if they emit that much flame out of the back of those cars. Having a look at the action at the moment, folks, the only action out there really at the moment is Tim Ballinger, Neil de Groom are battling out for 10th and 11th position.
Yeah, they've spread out after the pits, which is not uncommon really, I suppose, but just a shame, isn't it?
See now Tim's dive into the inside here, and they go side by side into the bus stop. Who's going to blink? Tim should have right of way. Neil lets him through.
Yeah, it's definitely a move to make. If you can get out of that corner there, Bernie, and have a good run, get into slipstream, and then pull out, dive into that bus stop. It's probably about the best move you can do, I think, on the Daytona track here.
Oh, definitely. Look at the gap Tim's pulled out on Neil just by forcing him to go offline and brake. Let's get a live compare back to Neil at the moment. Well, that can't be right. It reckons it's 9.3 seconds. It's probably more like 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's only about 2 seconds gap there, I reckon, Bernie.
Yeah, the overlays are definitely playing up at the moment. But it's probably time for a bit of an update, folks. So Class A, Josh Burden is leading the way. He's got 1.9 seconds over Marcelo Rivera in second. Simon Feigl, he rounds out your top three in the DP Open class. Class B is being led by Michael Hammond, who's laying down some pretty amazing times out there in that car. He's running 9th outright at the moment. Second is Anthony Mansorella for Evolution Racing Australia, followed by Lance Hawes in third for GT1 class. And then GT3, Adam Funslow, followed by Jeffrey Price, both McLarens, and then we have Scott Goodman in third for GT3 at this stage.
So there's a big gap here between the two different classes in B and C, isn't there, Benny, between first and second? So just the class and the guys that are driving in those different cars just goes to show how well they can get these cars set up and run around here.
Yeah, that's right, and we can see also now Zachary Hanlon, he's got a good slipstream on Simon Feigl here as they come in through the bus stop. Zachary's running fourth and he's starting to challenge for that third position.
Yeah, it looks like Zach's got a second win here, doesn't it, Benny? Struggled there, like he got up into first position at one stage there and then just started falling backwards, didn't he? So at a great rate of knots, and now it looks like he's got a second wind and trying to drive forward and get a position, which he has done.
Certainly does, and no doubt that's been helped by the very long stop. 18.9 seconds of Simon compared to 16.7 seconds of Zachary, so you can just see how that does start to affect things as this race shakes out.
Yeah, certainly does, and you know, like I said, I'm not sure if the boys took tyres on those cars, so if you've got fresh tyres, I mean, that might pave away what I said earlier, but I can't see that being an issue there, Bertie. It just looks like Zach's got a second wind here and just driving the wheels off of this car at the moment.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's got that car sorted now with 18 minutes to go of this race. You can just see how much he's pulled out on Simon. He's lapping in the 1:37.741s compared to Simon's 1:39. So he made 2 seconds on that lap, and he's actually lapping 1.2 seconds faster than Marcelo Rivera in second position at this stage.
Yeah, he just had a pretty slack lap that time too, Benny. He only did a 1:39.5, so Josh had a little bit of a moment there, but it's not like he can't afford it with 4 seconds gap there in between him and Marcelo, so got a bit of gap there, Josh, but yeah, it just seems strange. Like, but Zach is definitely pushing here with, we've got about 17 minutes to go.
Yeah, that gap last time by was 15 seconds. It's now down to 14.7 seconds, and once he can see Marcelo, no doubt he'll start pushing even harder. Yeah, with 17 minutes to go of this race, they've probably only got about another 10 laps to go, and they're on lap 25 at the moment.
Yeah, so we're not going to get as many laps as we used to with HPDs, but I'll tell you what, the quality of racing though, Bernie, it's definitely improved, and I'll tell you what, these DPs are such a nice car and they sound so good too, don't they?
Oh, they certainly do, and he was ranging up there. Zach was ranging up on Lance Hawes, and Lance dived to the right and basically got out of his way. But that paint job of the TD Racing, it looks fantastic under lights. And I think, who painted that car? I think it was Kent Walker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, Bernie. Kent Walker, a lot of guys should know Kent through trading paints. Kent's done a lot of trading paints there for Open Wheelers, done a lot of Formula 1 cars, so Trent had quite a few followers there on trading paints, and he's just a whiz at painting these cars. You should see all the TD Racing car paint schemes that actually pop quite well, and it's a nice paint scheme that he's done for the boys.
Yeah, certainly is, and when you see him on the GT3 cars in the Australian GT3 Championship, they definitely pop, and as we can see, the 19th position, TJ Brown just missing the apex on turn 1. But yeah, so folks, if you like your GT3 racing, Sunday night, the Australian GT3 Championship here on RRTV.
If I get a moment at some stage during the week on a Monday night, Benny, I might bring out the old Skippy, and I'll bring out the old TD Racing paint scheme for that one for you as well, so we can have a look at that one. And I believe the old Star Mazdas as well, they've got nice paint schemes. They're also quite nice, and I believe they were in the OSR Formula 1 series as well, so it does a fantastic job with these paints, I must admit.
Yeah, it certainly does, and yeah, definitely if you can send us some of those photos on those other cars, I'll chuck it up on our Facebook page for our viewers to have a look at as well.
Yeah, for sure. I might even get Kent to do it for me as well, Bernie, because he's the guy that does all the paint schemes, so I'll drop a line into Kent there, and he'll definitely send over some nice paint schemes over. I think on Sunday night there, I think Kent's McLaren had Darth Maul on the top of the roof of his GT3 car, so it is a little bit different for the paint designer there for himself, but does a fantastic job on painting these cars.
Yeah, he certainly does. And speaking of fantastic job, Michael Hammond at the moment 7th outright and leader of Class B as he rounds up the Class C leader, Adam Funslow. And I'll tell you what, Michael is not dawdling around this track, is he?
No, he's not, Bernie. He's definitely out there to push all the way through as the TP comes through, which would be Tim Bellinger there, number car 27. So we've got all three classes there lapping each other. So I know he's a great driver, and we've seen him time and time again do quite well in that Aston Martin.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's definitely a fast pedaler. And how long we got now, folks? 13 minutes to go, and I haven't even had a sip of coffee yet. So, as we can see, Josh Burton just coming out of the bus stop. Marcelo Rivera, 2nd place, 2.7 seconds down last time by. That's now up to 3.4 seconds. Zachary Hanlon, he's down 8.2 seconds over Marcelo, so he's made a total of 2 seconds on that gap. But he's flying, but I'm just not sure if he's going to have enough laps to catch him.
Yeah, definitely driving the wheels off that, isn't he, Bernie?
Oh, he certainly is. His lap was a 1:37.86 compared to Marcelo's 1:39.89 last lap by. So I think he's going to come close to catching him. I just think he's going to run out of time.
Yeah, I think I'll be in the same books there, Bernie. He's driving, he'll get close, but yeah, he'll probably run out of time to try and do anything about it.
Yeah, and he's starting to get a bit of a gap there over Simon Feigl in 4th position. That gap is 2.9 seconds, 3 seconds now, and he's 7.6 seconds down on Marcelo.
Yeah, and Aaron Osborne is like 7 seconds behind Aaron Farmer, which is Aaron's 12 seconds behind Simon. So there's a big gap there between those two guys.
Oh yeah, the gaps are starting to spread out now after 50 minutes of racing. The last person on the lead lap is 10th position, Matthew Zimmerman. So over half the field now have gone down a lap, and only the top 10 are on the same lap. But he's 97 seconds down, so he's going to come close to being lapped very shortly, I think.
If not already, I think, Bernie.
Yeah, he's just been lapped now. Well, yeah, you're right. By the time I called it, he's already lapped. So Matthew Zimmerman down, so only the top 9 now.
Yeah, and that's Neil, and Neil's not that far. But how's Michael Hammond, Bernie, in a Class B car and still on the lead lap at the moment with 11 minutes to go? So he may go a lap down within that 11 minutes, but geez, it's going to be close for him to go that lap down, which is a mighty effort in that Aston tonight.
Yeah, Marcelo's getting balked here a bit by Matt Zimmerman. He caught him at the wrong time on the inner part of the circuit, and that's cost him a bit of time here, which is going to play into Zachary Hanlon's hands, and he's still not past him.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get past as Matthew's up the top there, so he's got it on out the road. So good move there, but yeah, it's cost him a little bit of time then.
Yeah, it did, and to Matt's credit there, he got out of the way as soon as he could, and it's just racing, isn't it? You get the traffic at the wrong time, and it can cost you a bit, but it can also work in your favour.
Yeah, that's right, Benny. It's one of those things about racing. You always catch them at the wrong time and cost you a bit of time, but if you get them at the right time, it can gain you, because it's gained Joshua plenty of time and gained Zachary plenty of time, but it's cost Marcelo a lot of time. So unfortunately, it didn't work for Marcelo that time around.
having a look at that gap, it's down to 6.3 seconds between Zach and Marcelo at the moment. So he's gained another 1.2 seconds that lap.
Yeah, he's gained a little bit of time, but looks like, looking at the times there for Zach, he's slowly starting to drop off unless he had a little bit of traffic there. He's down to a 38 flat, so as Marcelo got off then, so that's all more help there for Zach to try and gain the time that he needs to try and get that second position.
Yeah, and we just caught the end of that. And, did he actually get some wheels off the track, did he?
Yeah, he certainly did, Benny. It was getting a little bit out of shape. I think he was lucky just to hang on to it then.
So jump back at the replay and have a look. I wonder if that's the first sign of his tyres starting to play up.
It could be. I mean, you push the car hard enough and you overdrive the car, and you're setting, you haven't got the car quite set up for the long distance, you can definitely wear your tyres out, but you wouldn't think so, being the temperature that this is, and the boys there should actually have a decent setup for the last an hour at least.
Oh yeah, it looked like from the replay, it looked like he got a bit caught out getting on the gas a bit early, and that just sort of got the rear end to kick a little bit, and I think that's what got him into the grass.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it was too much with the setup. I mean, the boys are working at this. They've got to make these cars last for at least an hour, don't they? Especially if they're using this as a test for AEC, because you want to try and stay in the car as long as possible, because the least amount of pit stops in the AEC, the better for the team, because that means you're spending less time travelling, so you're saving yourself at least 40 seconds to stop.
Yeah, and they'll be aiming at about a 1 hour stint normally in the endurance race in Sunday week. So it's definitely a good test for them to run this sprint format, just to test the tyres, and of course they haven't thrown on tyres. And it's interesting, Zach's now coming through the lap, Matthew Zimmerman there, and he's gone to the outside to make that move.
Yeah, got him in the right spot. So once again there, Bernie, just caught him at the right time, and we know that Marcelo's not far down the road there. He's only 5 seconds, so with 6 minutes to go, what you reckon? We've got about less than 5 laps to go, so probably about 4 laps to go, I think, Bernie.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 to go. They're lapping in the 130s, 140s. So probably 3 laps, 5.2 seconds, he's gaining 1.2 seconds a lap, so I think he'll probably be within 2 seconds at the end of this race, but I don't think he's just going to run out by a couple of laps, I think.
Yeah, I think so too, Bernie. The only thing that Zachary can hope for here is that Marcelo has a bit of an issue here, as goes out wide there, Bernie. I'm with Zach at the moment. It's just caught Adam at the wrong time, like we said, and then trying to get on the gas, got a little bit loose, so nothing there Adam could have done. It just Zach caught him at the wrong time then. Yeah,
and the slower cars, they are in their own race, and the best thing they can do is hold their line, which they did. And it was good to see Adam didn't get balked by that move to the outside. It's so easy in a GT3 car to sort of panic a bit when these DP opens come flying up in those sharper corners.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I've been in that position myself plenty of times, Bernie. I've admitted it quite a few times. I'm not the quickest guy out there, but I try and make sure I'm the cleanest guy and make sure I give plenty of room. But yeah, sometimes catch you out if you're not too comfortable, and it can get a bit scary there, especially if you got more than one of them. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And at the moment, Adam's doing a fantastic job there. He's only gone down 2 laps, and he's now 1 lap above his competitor Jeffrey Price. So I'd say with 4 minutes to go. Don't want to put the mocker on him, but it's looking pretty good for Adam Funslow in Class C.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you, Bernie. You know, he's doing a great job, and so is Michael. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm so impressed with Michael's driving tonight. At the moment, he's in 8th position, still on the lead lap, and quite possibly he may still end up being on the lead lap after this. And I mean, that's no mean feat there to keep this Aston on the lead lap with the talent that's in front of him.
Oh, for sure, and he's running 8th outright. 85 seconds down, and I think he will stay on that lead lap at the end of this race.
I think you might be right there, Bernie. I mean, he's definitely driving the car nice and straight and solid, so I can't see him going a lap down tonight.
Yeah, and his closest competitor, Anthony Manzarella for Evolution Racing Australia, has gone a lap down. He's running 11th outright in that car as well. Our mover and shaker at the moment is Zachary Hanlon, who's doing his utmost to try and catch Marcelo Rivera here. 4.6 seconds is the gap with 3 minutes to go, so only 2 laps of this race to go until the end.
Yeah, and like I said, Bernie, I think Zach really needs Anthony. Sorry, Anthony's the wrong driver. Marcelo to have a incident here because I think it's pretty well tied up for these 3 positions. I think.
Yeah, and he only made 0.3 of a second that lap pass, so his lap times have come back now to the other 2 in front of him, and that might be Zach just realising he's not going to have enough time to fight for that second position.
Yeah, and probably a bit of traffic as well, Bernie. I think he may have got involved in that one. We saw him there struggle a little bit as well, getting up through here and just before the bus stop. So that's probably cost him a bit of time. So if we watch this lap, he may be a little bit quicker, but obviously a little bit too late. And probably that poor first stint that he had, I suppose, has really cost him a high position. But a podium is nothing to be sneezed at, that's for sure.
That's right, and Marcelo started to catch up on Josh Burden here with just coming up to get the last lap very shortly. They might actually get another 2 in. The gap is 0.9 of a second between first and second.
Yeah, it's weird as Josh has dropped off as Marcelo's gone a little bit wide in turn 1, saw the red mist and going, I might be able to get first place here, and then just gone wide. So this might be on here for another lap burn.
Yeah, well, 1 minute 14 to go. I think they're going to get that white flag pretty much after the bus stop at this stage, but Marcelo's putting everything in it because he can see Josh is being held up as a car spins there. That's one of the XY gaming cars, but Josh is being held up here, and that's allowing Marcelo to close in.
Yeah, it's quite interesting coming down to the last few laps there, 40 odd seconds to go. We can see if they'll get across. We may get the white flag, we may not. It will be interesting. It's going to be a close one tonight, Bernie.
Certainly is, and I bet you Marcelo wants another lap here because as he closes way in under brakes, he's gone deep into the bus stop there trying to get a good run on Josh here. He's throwing everything at Josh.
Yeah, he certainly is, and Josh can't go slow here. He's got the draft, Manzarello, so he's going to have to take the tighter line.
It's 4 seconds to go. It's going to be Josh. So they just made it across. It looks like they've got one more lap, or have they?
I don't know. It's I think they're still the last lap, Bernie. They may have got across there, and this is still all to play for.
Certainly is. They got across there just as the white flag came out. A couple more seconds and it would have been the checkered, but here we go. Marcelo's having a look on the outside. He should get the inside here on Josh.
Josh has got to hold his line, Kenny, or he might be playing some here and just let Manzarello through here and use his draft and get him after the bus stop. Who knows? It could be tight, or hopefully Manzarello makes a mistake. Oh, he's a bit loose there.
I'll tell you what, this has allowed Zach Hanlon now to close right up. He's got a lapped car in front of him, but he's only 3 seconds down. But here we go. Josh has got the lead. Marcelo, he's going to go on the outside to the bus stop. I think he might have should have probably tucked in, but too wide down here is bringing Zach into this race. Oh, if they collect, it's going to be Zach's race, but Josh just cuts him off. Marcelo's puff of smoke. Zach's having a go now.
Oh, Zach's gone on the inside there of Manzarello, and oh no, he's lost it.
Massive crash there, huge crash, but that's going to free up Josh Burden here to take the checkered flag, but huge incident here. Marcelo's limping to the finish, and Zach is, oh, look at Zach's car, it is a mess. He's not going to get that across the line as he flips it, going down the back straight here.
That was massive. That was massive, Bernie. And look, he was given a shot, wasn't he? And tried to take the inside line, but as he's come back on the transition, it's just got the car loose and just lost it and took out Manzarello as well. So hard luck there. That's hard racing at the end there. That was probably one of the biggest accidents we've seen in a long time, Bernie.
Certainly is, and Marcelo Rivera did get that car across the line for second, but Zach, well, you know, they threw everything they could at it, but let's see if we can have a look at this replay, folks. Bear with us for a moment, I'll try and get this action up. So, having a look, it all started when Marcelo started to get a little bit taily there, just coming out, and we can see Zach on the inside here. Tricky move, really, wasn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, it's look, I'm going to try and stay as biased as I can, Bernie, but yeah, it's the big problem with a oval track like this. If you're down on the flat there and you try and come back up on a hard banking like that, the car's never going to be settled. So under power, it's really going to get that car a little bit loose. So unfortunately, it was probably got up on that part of the track a little bit too late. Needed to move up a little bit quicker, and that may not have happened. But look, when you're racing there, Bernie, you're not going to think about that, and you're trying to get that position and trying to get first, aren't you?
Oh, you certainly are. And we'll try and go back and get a different angle on that if we can. We'll see if we can get another angle on that, folks, and just to see what has happened here.
And out of all that, Bernie, I'll tell you what, Simon has come up into second. So we told you to keep an eye on him, and he's ended up finished second.
So you can see now Zach is coming up. Marcelo could see him, and it was just that change of going onto the embankment that turned Zach's car around, and unfortunately, big time into Marcelo Rivera here. That was a really big accident. Yeah,
it certainly was, and you know, that's going to happen, especially on a track like Daytona, coming up on that transition. So unfortunately it took out a couple of cars, but lucky Marcelo got over. He ended up finishing third, so it wasn't too bad for him. He did finish on the podium, Aaron Farmer ended up being in 4th, and Aaron Osborne come up into 5th there. So, and Zach finished in 6th, so he got across the line there in 6th. So after that big incident, coming up from 3rd, he ended up down into 6th. So bit of a letdown for him, but he still got that 6th place finish there.
Yeah, and before we go to interviews, folks, let's go through the full finishing results here. So, Josh Burden wins Class A, followed by Simon Feigl in 2nd. 3rd, Marcelo Rivera. 4th, Aaron Farmer. 5th, Aaron Osborne. Zachary Hanlon, well, we saw him in that huge accident, finishing 6th. 7th, Tim Ballinger. 8th, Michael Hammond. 9th, and Michael's the first to Class B, 8th outright. 9th, Matt Zimmerman. 10th, Neil De Bruin. 11th and 2nd in Class B was Anthony Mansarella, followed by Gregory Colgan in 12th. 3rd in Class B, Craig Hopkins. 4th in Class B, Lance Hawes. 1st in Class C, Adam Funslow in 16th outright, followed by Jeffrey Price in 17th and Scott Goodman in 18th. So that's your 1st, 2nd and 3rd in Class C. Then TJ Brown finished 19th. 20th, Ben Darley Jr. 21st, Dylan Shepherd. David Jellings, 22nd and 25 laps down. Chris Johnston, 23rd and 27 laps down. And Troy Maguire is classed as a not finish. So, Adrian, I might bring Josh up, and did you want to have a chat with him?
Yeah, bring Josh up, seeing he was a Class A winner tonight. Hey Josh, welcome to the RRTV commentary booth. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, cheers mate. It was most of the race, or at least half the race had pressure from Marcelo there, so definitely wasn't easy. The pit stops I got away from him a bit, and then I had to fuel save like crazy at the end. I caught before the line, so lucky for me he had his little tangle with, I'm not sure who it was, but it was unfortunate for him there because I would say he would have got the win otherwise, but that was a good race.
Yeah, not sure if you were fuel saving. Marcelo would have had a little bit more fuel than you, because we did see that yourself and Aaron Farmer, that obviously with only a 15-second stop, they were putting close to your fuel load, but the incident there was actually Zachary Hanlon and Marcelo. Zachary was on the bottom there, and he's come up and collected Marcelo there. So unfortunate for both those drivers, but Marcelo finished 3rd. So a great drive. It was good to know that you were actually fuel saving. So that 15 seconds was a good one for us to gauge off for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think next week I'm not going to pit as early, as for sure. Definitely lost too much time. Around other tracks might not be too bad, but here it was definitely didn't work. I didn't actually plan to do that. It was just didn't quite work out my numbers correctly. But yeah, good win's a win, I suppose.
Yeah, well, you got the win. That's the important thing. So it's a good start for the season, for the championship. So, but I think with the Daytona being such a big track and wide open, it makes it a little bit harder for you guys to get your numbers a little bit right, because the outright speed that you can get around here is totally different to, say, a different track with a tighter corners, because you're not going to make too many mistakes on this track, are you?
No, it's it, and especially with the rough and whatnot, you can play with the fuel numbers a fair bit as well. So yeah, it was just probably, like I said, pit a lap later. That way you've got that extra 3 or 4 litres up your sleeve for if the race goes a lap longer, like you did today. I crossed the line. I was about 2 seconds off from getting the white flag on the lap before. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, we did see that. It was like I watched yourself and Marcelo there coming across. You see the white flag come up, and then you weren't sure if you finished or not. But obviously, because you were so close to that start finish line that obviously iRacing decided, well, you're that close that you may as well go off and do the whole lap. So that probably didn't help you guys at all.
No, it didn't help me. I know Marcelo would have had a few up his sleeve, definitely. But yeah, it happens. Sometimes it go your way, sometimes it won't.
Yeah, it's just like traffic as well, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But hey, mate, well done. I'm going to hand you over to Bernie for a few more questions. I'm sure he's got a few there to ask you, but well done on the first race of the season, and hopefully in a couple of weeks' time, I believe you get up there and be on the podium again, mate.
Yeah, mate, that's the plan.
Yeah, well done, Josh. I tell you what, that last lap, I'm not sure if you were guessing. I was guessing if the race had been over or not when you entered that last lap, but I tell you what, it closed up. Was that traffic that went against you that closed that gap, or was Marcelo just closing it through speed?
There was three things. Traffic, even though over the race was pretty good, they got out of your way and all that. You obviously do get slowed down by them. Second thing, like I said, I was fuel saving. And third thing, Marcelo was had the speed at the end. So yeah, three things that counted to him lucky. Yeah, be quicker than me at the end.
Yeah, so looking at the Australian Endurance Championship, are you going to be contesting in that series?
Yeah, mate. We've entered in the C7 Daytona prototype, so it was a bit of a test run tonight. More than anything, I'll be doing the whole series, but just to see how all the setup and all that went. Got a bit of work to do with tyre life and whatnot, so we'll work on that.
Yeah, it's pretty good that you know, quite a few guys in the DPs will probably use this as a shakedown. It's good to get this opportunity a week out from the 24-hour on Saturday week, I guess it is.
Yeah, that's it. And the iRacing only 24 hours as well this weekend coming, so I'm guessing there's a few Australian teams entered for that. So we'll that'll be another great testing spot for the DP teams. So yeah, I expect there's going to be a lot of competition come AEC round.
Yeah, and before we let you go, did you want to give a shout out to all your sponsors out there who's backed your great racing team? Yeah,
absolutely. GT Omega, Dripping Paint Graphics. Yeah, the great support. It's been awesome.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. Outright win and Class A win, Josh Burden. And we look forward to seeing you back on the track in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, guys.
The next guy we're going to bring up is Mike Hammond, our Class B winner. Hi, Mike. Welcome to RRTV's commentary booth, and congratulations. That was a fantastic drive by yourself tonight.
Hey, fellas. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Really hard with them C7s with that such a straight line of speed. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like you weren't losing too much to them. The Aston Martin seemed to match them sort of in top speed. I think it was the corners more than anything, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with the DP versus the C7 versus Aston. That infield we can just basically get right back up onto them, but when we get back to the banking, their horsepower and that extra 50 kilos we got, we suffer on the top end.
Yeah, and I was asking, I was mentioning during the race actually, you're either frustrated at times behind the DPs or you were enjoying taking the race to them. So which was it for you?
Oh, I reckon it was really fun with the DPs because by turn 2, that big accident, I didn't expect to be in the top 10 coming out of it and then holding into the top 10 finish line because I thought they were just going to round me up and say see you later, and I was going to go back to me Ford 8 where the first GT class was when I started.
Yeah, it was a fantastic drive. You were the last one on the lead lap, and your closest competitor, I think, was, let's have a look, Anthony Manzarella. So it looks like you did it pretty easy there in Class B tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty easy because I think a few of them got caught up in that turn 2 incident, and like I said, I got through there pretty cleanly, and them DPs crashing out on that turn 2 and trying to come back through the field, that's what probably slowed them down too, to try to catch up to the back of me.
Yeah, it could have been, and but either way, you were putting down those lap times, and it was a very impressive drive, so congratulations on that. I'm just going to pass you over to Adrian to see if he's got any other questions for you.
Problems.
Yeah, thanks, Bernie. Well done, Mike. A fantastic job driving that Aston. Just proving how well you enjoy that car. It must be your favourite car on iRacing.
Oh, it sure is. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, you did quite well last season in the series. I believe you ran the Aston Martin, and you had the you had to compete with the HPDs and the GT3. But obviously this season you got the C7, so it makes it a little bit more interesting running with those. You're a little bit more closer, and it makes it good for racing for yourself in that Aston, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and it's going to be interesting when we come to like the shorter tracks without those big straights, because the Aston Martin's got really good brakes on it, and it can outbrake that C7. So it's going to be very interesting when we get to the smaller tracks.
Yeah, it's something that I think we've seen here tonight with this big open track at Daytona. There was only 3 seconds difference between the whole 3 classes. So once we get to these different tracks, I'm sure it's going to be even tighter racing, and it's definitely going to mix it up for you guys in the different classes. Unfortunately, it looks like that we've got so many C7s. We've only got a couple of you guys in the different classes, which is a bit of a shame. But obviously, you're going to hold your own in a few of these other races that we're coming up to.
Yeah. With the next tracks, like I said, we'll get to them shorter tracks and we'll see if we can actually put the GT1 on the top step.
No, it'd be something that I'll be looking forward to see how well you can actually get that Aston Martin up there. It's good to see you driving the car again and doing quite well in it. We knew that you were fourth last season, and it's good to see that you're actually starting to show your form this season. So congratulations once again, and before we let you go, I think a couple of shout outs there for your sponsors and your teammates I think would go a long way.
Yeah, I was just having a look at the cars before. You need to update my car, Bernie, because it doesn't have that laser skin, because I ran the team's championship last season. That's where the skin was as well. But yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Laser Racing and Simulate It. That's about it.
Fantastic. Well, I'll definitely try and find that skin. Is it up there on Trading Paints, or?
Yeah, it's on the car now. You just have to update your trading paints.
Alright, no worries. I'll do that for next one. But anyway,
No
congratulations.
Thanks. Cheers for the telecast. You're doing an awesome job as usual. And I'll catch you next time.
So that was Mike Hammond, Class B winner. We'll bring up Anthony Manzarella for a chat. He came second in Class B, and I'll let you lead off this time, Adrian.
Thanks, Benny. Sorry about that, Anthony. Welcome to the RRTV commentary booth. Finished second tonight in Class B. Must be happy with that. Obviously, he doesn't want to talk to us tonight, Bernie.
Fair enough. Here he is. He's back.
I have no idea what just happened, guys. But sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. I didn't know what happened to Dylan. We were just talking about it then. He was having connection issues, so looks like I got gifted the second position. But he was blinking all over the place when I saw him. So, but other than that, no, I couldn't really chase down Michael. But yeah, happy with second for sure.
Yeah, Michael's quite quick. He ran that car last season, so obviously got the handle on that Aston Martin, and he definitely does love the car. So that definitely helps him get the speed. But obviously the trading paints isn't working on his car. But we did see the paint scheme for your car is not the same as the DP's. Is that correct, or have we got to update our trading paints as well?
Nah, they're definitely different. Yeah, Jake. He's done a good job with the Night Rider designs, just doing the different colours. But yeah, they're definitely different skins. So that's for sure.
And how did you find the Aston tonight at Daytona? We were talking to Mike earlier about the way that he drove, and he's going to look forward to the shorter tracks where the Aston might come into its own against the C7s. What's your plans with that going through the season?
Yeah, to be honest, this is my first season in the GT1. Like, I don't know if I've spoken to Bernie with the Skip Barbers, but I've come from the V8s. But yeah, I think as the different tracks progress, everyone's car will get, obviously the pros and cons, and quicker and slower in different corners. But it was just a real struggle in that first lap with the C7s, because I had Marcelo and Simon from my team were in the C7, and they were struggling on that first lap. So it was a bit of a chaos. But yeah, look, it's one of those things that each track's going to be different, and we'll have to see how we go, I guess. So yeah, just GT1's a really good car to drive, and yeah, good downforce, and it's definitely a great car to drive.
Well, with the talent in the team, which we know is quite strong with Evolution Australia, is there a few other guys running the Aston there that you can rely on and try and help you get the car set up for the future races?
Yeah, we got Jacko, Tim Jackson. He races the GT1s here and there, but at the minute he's just got some renovations and stuff going on in his personal life. So at the minute he's sort of not really on iRacing. So at the minute I'm just a lone wolf, just practicing my own time, and hopefully he'll get back on and give me a hand.
Yeah, it certainly helps when you can get teammates aboard, and we've seen you in the skippies in previous rounds there, for sure, and I've been around and seen you go through the skippies, and yeah, but I haven't seen you in the V8s, but definitely can drive the skippies quite well. And I suppose once you get the handle of this Aston, I'm sure you're going to be up there and giving Michael a good old battle there in the Astons, because that's what we're here for. And I'll tell you what, brilliant cars to drive as well. I've been in one of those, and I'm just not that quick enough to be up the front end, but definitely a decent car to drive, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next couple of rounds, and maybe with the official series I can sort of get the grips with the car and sort of contest to the first place with Michael. And when I was speaking to him before, he's straight away told me I'm the reigning champion, so we'll have to see how we go.
Well, he's already trying to stamp. He's already in the first race, so definitely time to put the medal down and try and catch up to him. But I'm going to hand you over now to Bernie, because I can't think of anything else to ask you, but I'm sure Bernie will. And look, once again, congratulations on the second place finish. Good for the team, good for yourself, and I'd be looking forward to you for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Andrew, appreciate it, and congratulations to Michael as well for the win, and everyone else in the class.
Fantastic, yeah, it was a good drive there by Michael, but a very good drive by yourself there, Anthony. How much different is this GT1 compared to the V8 to drive?
Oh, Bernie, where do I start, mate? Heaps. As you can tell, the V8's got heaps of horsepower, under-tired, and it's got less aero. GT1 comes to its own. It's just got its own downforce in it is unbelievable. You can get through the corner so much quicker, even on cold tyres. It comes, up to temp really well, and I mean, they both got their goods and bads. I love the V8 ever since I started doing it, but you got to learn the cars, and to get quick in them, it takes time and practice. So yeah, the Aston Martins, I'm liking it much better than the V8, but again, they're both very unique.
Yeah, they certainly are. That you've already answered my next question, which was, what's your favourite? It sounds like the Aston Martin at the moment, but yeah, completely different cars to drive, and yeah, well done. So what other events have you got planned for this year in iRacing?
we'll be doing the AEC, Australian Endurance Championship. That's the team will be doing that. So I'll be actually in the C7, so which is next weekend. I won't be doing the Daytona 24-hour this weekend with the iRacing servers, but that's got other commitments. But the team Evolution Racing Australia will definitely be in that. Pretty much just the official series with the GD1. See if I can contest against the Euros, get Australia on the map, and see what else there is really. I might do. I don't know what's happening with the Skip Barber Championship at the minute. I haven't really been informed on how that's going. But yeah, if that gets up and running, I'll definitely be doing that.
Yeah, well, at the moment it doesn't look like that's going to get up and running, unfortunately. So that probably won't be going ahead. So, but that of course will free you up for your campaign with the GT1 and to fly the Aussie flag.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I did see that Richard was trying to get people to back it and get some help, and hopefully maybe one day it'll get started again. So, but yeah, no, I'll try raise the Aussie flag in the GD1 series with the Euros. But yeah, there's some quick guys out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. And before we let you go, do you want to give a shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank obviously my team, Evolution Racing Australia, and all the guys there for helping me out, and yeah, just the sponsors, Demidov Innovations, Auto Loan Centre, Way of Life, and Maverick Welding for all their commitment and their sponsorship. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic. Well, once again, congratulations. Great drive there. Second in Class B, Anthony Manzarella.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one. See you next round.
Well, Adrian, it's getting to the end of this broadcast once again. I'll tell you what, they did spread out a bit during that race, but the fireworks on that last lap, my goodness me, what didn't it go off?
Yeah, it certainly did, Bernie. Didn't expect that, that's for sure, but good to see. Like we saw that those 15-second stops were definitely a little bit light on, and they pushed the numbers there, and that's why Josh lost a lot of time there to the other guys. But yeah, just a simple error there, trying to get back on the track, and caused a fairly big incident. Not only caught out second and third, but it took out a couple of other lower place drivers as well that unfortunately got caught involved in it. But yeah, no, definitely turned the fireworks on, didn't it?
Yeah, it certainly did. And for all our viewers out there looking at the week ahead for our racing, this Sunday night we'll be back for the Australian GT3 Championship. Unfortunately, we don't have many GT3s in this one, but if you like your GT3 racing, check that out, because we've definitely got a nice big competitive race going on Sunday nights, that's for sure. Yeah,
certainly do, Bernie. First timers putting it on until SEK or the RIFF boys get their season up and running. So they're doing a good job there, getting that GT3 racing going. So it's definitely good racing that I've seen. We've had first race, we've seen teammates take each other out. Second race was just brilliant racing all throughout that. So definitely come in and join us on Sundays to watch that, and don't forget to press that thumbs up button and like the broadcast, because Bernie does a great job with this series and all the series he's involved with.
Yeah, and if you know anyone that likes their motorsport, folks, definitely let them know about our channel, and if you want to see more of our action, subscribe to our channel so that you can be informed when all these races are recorded. Looking further ahead, Monday night we will have the Monday night Skip Barber next Monday, and then the following weekend we will be bringing you the Australian Endurance Championship Daytona 24 hours. So the broadcast will start at around about 7 p.m. Saturday night, so definitely tune in if you like your endurance racing.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one, isn't it, Bernie? So that's going to be interesting. Once again, AEC at Daytona. We'll see how that starts out. I believe last year it was a bit of a incident-packed race for 24 hours. But I'm sure with the guys having a year underneath their belt, they might be a little bit more restraint for the 24 hours, and we might get a few more guys finish that one.
Yeah, definitely. This time last year they were going into their first 24-hour race. Can't believe it's a year already, and lots of carnage. But there's been a lot of miles put down on these tracks in the last year, and the teams have come a heck of a long way in how they prepare for these long races. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. But anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you've enjoyed our broadcast of the Australian Sportscar Pro-Am. We'll be bringing this back to you in a fortnight. But as I said, join us this Sunday night for the Australian GT3 Championship. On behalf of Adrian Jarvis, I'm Bernie Weemers, and thanks for watching RRTV.